Have you ever noticed that some bags of coffee say single origin, while others are labeled as some kind of blend? Is one better than the other? Do they taste different? And should you be buying one over the other? Today on Coffee or Die, we'll answer those questions. At a glance, these coffees may look the same, but one of them is actually a single origin of a single varietal, while the other is a blend from other countries and of different varietals. But what does that really mean? Well, let's start defining some things. Single origin can get really simple or really complex, depending on the transparency of who you're buying it from. It can mean the coffee is from a single region of a country. Then, we could get even deeper and say it's from the same farm, producer, crop, or if it was all a part of the same plot. A blend, on the other hand, is just a combination of coffees from different farms, countries, or regions. So, which one's the best? Well, the answer really isn't quite that simple. First, let's start with what's great about single origin. The biggest reason why this is generally preferred by the specialty coffee community is because of the transparency associated with it. We're not only being told where all the coffee in the bag came from, but the unique quality and the processes of that farm. On the exclusive coffee subscription, all the coffees are hand-picked, certified as specialty, and single origin. Next, we typically know what flavor and aromatic profiles to expect when we get bags from a single origin, or at least a general understanding of what they should be. For example, if I'm buying a washed single origin coffee from Ethiopia, I know I should expect some florals, citrus, bright acidity, a light to moderate body, and a clean finish. However, depending on the farm and process, there may be some other things contributed to the cup that are being implemented at origin. Further, remember that coffee is an agricultural product. This means that crops over time can taste different. So when we go the single origin route, we're tasting coffees from a single place as environmental factors or processes change, meaning single origin might not be the most consistent, but they're better geared for those who want to explore coffees from one source as they change. Next up, let's look at blends. Before we do that though, do me a favor and like and subscribe to Coffee or Die. For every new subscriber we get, I'll consider hitting up the therapist that I ghosted last month. Not my therapist, just a therapist, but I should probably schedule an appointment with my actual therapist too. So, when it comes to blends, we may have something that's year-round at a particular shop or roastery. They'll typically dial in a ratio of beans from a combination of countries so that, regardless of the time of the year, their product, for the most part, tastes the same. This is the case with bags like the AK, which have a ratio of 75% Colombia and 25% Brazil. I would say that most blends are combined with the idea of creating a middle-of-the-road solution, or coffee that doesn't have profiles that stand out too aggressively. They display very approachable flavor profiles that are overall very balanced and moderate in nature. However, some roasters will develop blends that rotate with crops, or simply dial in a variety of high-scoring coffees to create a very intentional flavor profile. On the other side of the coin, blends can potentially result in a loss of transparency in the cup's origins, which can start to make things cloudy. We may have a general idea of where the beans being used are sourced, but we tend to lose specific origin characteristics and terroir as a result of the blends. Additionally, some companies will also combine commercially available beans of a lower grade or quality to meet the demand of their year-round roast, depending on the scale and quality control of their operations. But blends can also be created to achieve a desired end state, such as the combination of different species or origins to achieve a higher caffeine content, or for the purpose of specific brewing methods such as espresso. This is the case with bags like Caf, which are 75% Robusta and 25% Arabica, making them caffeinated as fuck. So, are single origin or blends better? The answer to that just depends on what you're looking for, man. The best way to figure it out, though, is to compare different coffees and see which ones match your preference, which, at the end of the day, should be king in the way that you're preparing your coffees anyway. On that note, that's all I've got for today. But I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Coffee or Die. Next, before we look at blends, we're gonna wait for this bird. We got trains, we got birds, we got dogs, we got all sorts of shit. Let's fucking wait for this. All right. Next, let's take a look at blends.